this size so that we can express our militant views or teach or spread them. That doesn't mean that that'll never happen. That's a yet. But at this point, when we're using somebody else's house, we got to follow their rules. Is that right? To me, that makes sense. I mean, you don't have to follow their rules if you don't want to come back. But if you want to come back, which we do, we're going to follow the rules. So there's not going to be any cursing. No cursing. It's not cute. You can slip, you can make a slip, but if you slip too much, it makes me think that you're doing it on purpose because you want to stop this program. We don't want any racial epithets. The better your vocabulary is, the less you have to use racial epithets. You can talk about oppressors. You can talk about any other word. You got to stay away from those direct derivatives of those Anglo-Saxon words and use those Latinate words. You know, you can't say, they call the other people's words vulgar. So if you say copulate, that's okay. If you say the derivative of feck, the Anglo-Saxon word, that's bad. All right? If you say condemn, that's okay. But if you shorten that up, they say that that's bad. So the bottom line is we're not going to curse. I don't think we have to say there ain't going to be no violence or anything like that in here, and we're going to try to keep it all respectful. Outside of that, tell the truth. That's the bottom line. We're going to tell the truth. Don't want to lose sight of the purpose of this debate, or the purpose is. One, of course, is for us to, to be together, for us to dialogue with each other, for us to improve each other, for us to engage in critical thinking process. But another is that we hope to also raise some funds for a brother who did acupuncture in this community, pioneered in acupuncture in the treatment of people with substance abuse. His name is Dr. Mutulu Shakur. And if half of the things that they say he did, he probably would have more respect in our eyes than he does, even though we know he's innocent. But by and large, they said that he was taking money, robbing money, and giving it to the African liberation movements and giving it to black freedom camps and schools down in the South. And we know Dr. Mutulu would not take any money or do anything like that. And I say he's innocent, but then again, I say Nat Turner's innocent for other reasons. But the bottom line is that we support him, and he's very grateful for the support that he's gotten. We're going to call up, in fact, we're going to change the program a little bit and call up Brother Sid Wilson, who I see in the back, who represents the family and friends of Dr. Mutulu Shakur, and just let him very briefly tell you the progress we've made from the great debates. The great debates have changed the situation of our brother who is in Supermax. And in Supermax, he can only make 2 phone calls a month. He doesn't know when those phone calls are going to be. He's locked up there with our brother H. Rap Brown and others. While I'm at it, the writer of the African Pledge, which we just recited, is here. Please stand, sir. That's Brother Ron Daniels of the Institute of the Black World, the author.
Good evening. First, let me thank CEMOTAP, namely Betty Dobson. Let's want to extend our condolences to her first. And a thanks to CEMOTAP, who has given so much to family and friends, and given so much to everyone. So I want to give let's give him a big round of applause. He has I can't really imagine a bigger heart than he has. He's been absolutely generous. He's made a very large difference in the life of Mutulu Shakur. Mutulu has been absolutely delighted, thankful for all of the contributions you have made. Give yourself a big round of applause for the contributions you have made consistently. The difference is a dollar does make a difference in his life, because to wage the struggle in the court, obviously you need dollars. And for the first time, we've reached a milestone. The first time we've managed to have a paid lawyer for Dr. Mutulu Shakur. So now today, for the first time he walks into court, this court struggle will be with a paid lawyer, a very capable paid lawyer. That is one struggle, and that's a milestone, and that was made possible by your generosity. So he thanks you and thanks you and thanks you, and we can't thank you enough for the contributions you have made to this struggle. We know, however, that struggle continues. That struggle must be won not only in the court, but must be won in the court of public opinion. That struggle must be won in the court of public opinion, that we must get the decriminalization of all political prisoners, and to recognize them nationally, domestically, internationally as political prisoners that they are. The incarceration, the criminalization of any freedom fighter is a threat to all freedom fighters. We must, as a people, demand decriminalization of all political prisoners. Mutulu will not be content simply be released as a criminal. He will only be content being released as a political prisoner that he is. But again, I want to thank you for your outstanding work and your contribution to family and friends of Dr. Mutulu Shakur. And I'm going to step aside because I'm eager, like you are, to listen to the crossfire that we're about to witness. So thank you again. Yeah, the difference is, Dr. McIntosh reminds me, the difference is last year this time, we could not afford any lawyers. Now, we are grateful for all the lawyers that made contributions to Dr. Mutulu Shakur, namely Roger Wareham, Tarif, Chokwe, a long list of them. However, there are real limitations on what can be done with free pro bono. It's the limitations. So for the first time, and this is the first time, in fact, Mutulu wrote the other day and said that it's the first time he's ever been called a client. And now he signed a retainer with the lawyer. The lawyer met with him about a month ago, and this is the first time he's ever had a paid lawyer in all the years he's been incarcerated. And now we're talking about some, 696, 24 years, 23 years, 24 years approximately. So it is a major turning point, and it was made possible by you and CEMOTAP. So again, thank you so much.
Okay, brothers and sisters, let me look back and see who else is here. We've also been joined by two other bright stars, the publisher of the Black Star News, Brother Milton Alamati. And we've also been joined by the chair of the December 12th movement, longtime activist, Sister Viola Plummer. And we've been joined by the brilliant legal scholar, Dr. Gloria Brown Marshall. I'm going to be using my cell phone with the time, and I'm going to ask anybody out there with a second hand on their watch, can I get a few people who would be willing to also be timekeepers for us, just to give a signal from the audience, because we have to be very strict with the time. Any people that would be willing to look at their watch and count off 8 minutes for us when a person speaks? Okay, thank you, brother. Anyone else? Okay, thank you, sister. So when you get to around 8 minutes, just kind of wave a time to the person. I want to try to get some sort of a compromise between something that disturbed some people last time of being absolutely rigid, but at the same time, taking into consideration the real-time constraints that we have. If we talk over, we're saying that another person at the end of the program isn't going to get a chance to speak. So it's going to be 8 minutes. I'm going to try to, every time somebody comes up, let's get a time check. and then exactly 8 minutes after that, we're going to be asking you to stop. If you don't get to say everything